Yes, you wait here in the Games for Life podcast. This is an interesting story here. I want to get your guys' thoughts. I'm wondering if there's more that meets the eye here. I know in general, I am a big fan of single player games. I don't get to play multiplayer that much these days. Some of my favorite games are just single player. So reading this from Video Game Chronicle, they say here in quote, Electronic Arts has received a hugely negative response to a tweet appearing to mock people who in quote only like playing single player games, end quote. Said on Thursday, the FIFA and Battlefield publisher put its own spin on a popular meme by posting there are 10, but they only like playing single player games, end quote. The message, while likely intended as a lighthearted joke, received an overwhelmingly negative response, and it's more than just 7,000 replies. Jack Spectix Eye, I don't know how to pronounce that. The Irish YouTuber with nearly 30 million subscribers wrote, "They're 10, but thought this tweet was a good idea." Says here, developer Obsidian subtweeting EA writing, and quote, "Single player is dope, multiplayer is dope, games are rad," end quote. Responses even came from EA's own employees. Vince Zampella, head of EA's Respawn Entertainment, anything worked on the Call of Duty games back in the day. Creator of single-player games Titanfall, Jedi Fallen Order, replied with a hands-on face emoji, while the design director of Jedi Survivor simply posted a wink. BioWare Patrick Weeks added, thinking about working until midnight for a better part of a year to help ship Mass Effect 2, end quote. Let me read this here. Informal Dragon Age series designer Sebastian Hanlon wrote, in quote, "Remember, the community manager in the group waiting for our flight to board said, just to be more careful than usual about what you say while we're here. You represent the whole company, whether you like it or not, even if you think you're outside the show," end quote. That's kind of like my responses, like my manager brain.
Yeah.
So I guess as far as for this, it's funny. I feel like in general, this is just some guy who thought it was funny to rag on single player games. But I find it interesting that it really struck a chord with a lot of people. You know what I mean?
I do, actually, because I thought this was blown up more than it should be. I just, when I saw the tweet from EA, I just thought it was hilarious. Like, because you do have those sections in the gamer communities. Well, everybody has that one friend that just plays single player games. It's like, bro, man, hop on the multiplayer, man. Play with your friends.
Yeah.
Come hang out, man. This is the only time we all got families, we all got kids.
Kid Pass, crossplay.
Yeah. So it was just kind of funny because it's like, you know, if she's a 10 and she only plays single player games, you want to play some co-op. So I thought it was a funny tweet. But it is weird that it struck a chord in the gamer community with EA. I think everybody's just jumping on a bad wagon to bash EA for right or justified reasons. I don't think the tweet was that bad.
Yeah.
Like, to be honest, I really don't. But I guess people are very passionate, you know, about it for whatever the reasons may be.
Yeah.
I mean,
there's a lot of reasons.
I don't like let's talk about what are the reasons. I get they have
how many people has EA fired because they didn't make that much money?
But that's not new news, right? Like, what's that?
That's what I'm saying. So if EA is the company that's fired hundreds of people, he's a 10, but he doesn't make EA games, and there's people responding that's like, you fired me. You shut down our entire studio.
Because they didn't make
that's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying. I think this got a lot of crap because he's EA. Like, I couldn't look at it as a joke because EA has canceled so many projects, so many studios. It's like my internal reply is like, she's a 10, but she buys FIFA packs. It's like, how many times? It's like FIFA has been attempted to be sued so many times. As a company, EA is consistently voted top 10 worst companies in the country to work for like the past like 10, 15 years running. And you know, like, so for me, it's like how many games haven't existed? How many studios have been shut down under EA? How much crap has EA done? To me, it was kind of funny at first, but then it's like the more I thought about it, it's like the more I really thought about it, it's like, man, EA, fuck you.
But yeah, but are you projecting like other scenarios onto this one tweet? I know EA as a company has like a bad taste in your mouth, but like it's just a funny tweet, and clearly EA don't believe in single player games, so it lines up with their ideology and just try to make humor out of it. But like, like them firing a bunch of people don't have nothing to do with this tweet.
I think, well, to me, am I because I see this, and I see what Arthur's talking about too. Even when it comes to like being an employee, where it's like, but I see it from like mainly like a consumer perspective, especially when it comes to like just like being damaged with like the state of like microtransactions and all this other stuff, and like even if they have made games that have been single player, obviously for the past like 10 years, multiplayer has been a focus because it makes more money. You know what I mean? Like that's like that's a fact. So like when you have a community manager or you have an official EA tweet saying something like that, I can see that being triggering for a lot of gamers, where it's like some people some people just all they have time for is single player games. You know what I mean? And or some people prefer single player games because they had a bad multiplayer experience of being, of all this shit in their face of like microtransactions or whatnot, and they don't want to associate with it. So while I do think that I do agree that it was completely blown out of proportion. You know what I mean? Like this is just a regular tweet, but I think back to what Homeboy said, Sebastian, saying, hey, like this isn't on your account, this is on a corporation's account. You know what I mean? So it's like there's accountability there. When it comes to speaking to a community where not everyone may be on the same page. Some people maybe have really bad experiences with some of our multiplayer games, and then obviously some people may just like maybe just assume something that isn't true. You know what I mean? Whether or not this is playful, it's kind of like you're responsible for what you say, not how you meant it.
I mean, I could see that side as well. I don't know. I guess, I mean, we clearly know the individuals that are offended by it, but I don't know. Like, if you're an employee, I can see how your company is like, hey, they don't believe. I take this as you don't believe in the product that we're making, like Respawn in the next Star Wars game, which is clearly not true because you're clearly making the game, so they believe in it. What else? Like the fact that your project's off the ground is they're putting money towards single player. Like, given the facts, I feel like it's just another opportunity to bash EA for their business practices, which are well deserved because they don't like that's a terrible company. But it's just like, I don't know. Like, I'm not going to die on this hill for this tweet. Like, I think it's just people just ready to pounce on EA for anything. But
it got the attention it got because it's EA. Hey, you know what? Oh, you're right. I don't like playing single player games. Let me go play multiplayer. I heard Battlefield 2042 was gonna be really good. That's a good one.
I think I saw some memes about that, dude.
It's like my guy. You're trying to. And again, it got so much. You're right. It did get blown out of proportion. I will say that, but it got blown out of proportion so much because it's EA. It's like, EA, you're shitting on single player games. I'm sorry. Have you played Battlefield 2042? Have you played a multiplayer game that was released in 2022 that didn't have a scoreboard? It's like, oh, I don't play single player games. Oh, that's why Battlefield 2042 didn't have a campaign. That's why it's such a good multiplayer. Like, what?
Right.
Like, what are you doing? It's it's like okay, what's like, honestly right now, what's a good multiplayer game by EA?
Apex Legends.
What's the
Wait, you don't think? Wait, hold on. Apex Legends? Are we not all in agreement?
No, I agree with that.
I don't know. I'm staying neutral on that because I really haven't played it too much because I don't do battle royales.
Yeah.
To me, they're just a quick deathmatch with cash grab. That's just how I look at battle royales.
I mean, sure.
The general consensus is
Apex.
It's a good game.
Good. But like, okay,
Respawn,
but like for me, the same people that tweet. There's the same people. That's like, what do you mean I enjoy Madden? Have you bought, how many packs have you bought? Like, fuck you. Like how many, like, this is the same company that said that tweet that's getting sued by numerous countries all for over their gambling and FIFA packs. So it's like I agree that it was development promotion because he was EA, but at the same time, but it sounds redundant, but like, that's why I was born up promotion, because he was EA. It's like, you're right, EA, I shouldn't go play multiplayer games. Let me go play your Madden games, which has been taking out features for the past 20 years. Let me go play your FIFA game whose FIFA packs and gambling concepts are so bad you're being sued by countries. So it's like fine, let me not play your single player games. Let me go play your plethora. I'll say Apex the exception.
Okay.
Their plethora of shit multiplayer games, like their brand new hit Battlefield 2042.
Yeah.
It's like you're
They definitely
it's like,
missed the
oh,
mark
you're
on that one.
it's like oh, I mean it's like
Yeah, we can all agree there.
Yeah.
I mean, not just not again. And that's the thing is like that's another point there. Battlefield 2042 was supposed to be the foundation for the next like 3 to 5 games in their series.
Yeah.
So if their focus, or even if their quote unquote joking focus isn't single player, it looks like a shit isn't even multiplayer.
They came out with some news of them working on the next one, and I was like, I know these guys don't care about it.
No, it's like, they're, like Battlefield 5 was a failure.
Yeah.
Battlefield 2042 was a failure. Fine, EA. I'll play a good game of yours when you fucking make one that isn't Apex. And I'd argue Apex is good because of Respawn, not because EA. That's
I mean, yeah, they made Star Wars
I mean,
as well.
it's still on EA. It's still their. It's still.
yeah,
but,
I mean,
but I would say like again right now in terms of like
They
EA
cultivated that talent.
EA is a
you know?
publisher. So,
yeah,
I
but
mean,
in terms of like EA's like current like portfolio of current of like let's say quote unquote new games. Like,
You
in terms of
didn't
new
like
games,
Knockout City?
Was it?
You didn't like Knockout
Knockout
City?
City is good.
Knockout City was fun, but I would argue I kind of only played it because it was on Game Pass.
I mean,
It was a success. Though.
it was,
Yeah.
yeah.
regardless.
But like again, so like I'm both. I can see why this can be laid as like too much attention, but again, for all the crap EA has done, for them to do this, fuck you. Like how many? Like you fired so
So for
many
you,
companies.
this is just like the cherry on
Like,
top, the straw.
I mean, like,
I got you. Yeah.
seriously, like how much crap can EA do, and then be like, oh, try a joke about this. I mean, that's like, I can't.
it's a tone deaf response.
It's a
I get what you
it's
mean.
a horrible tone deaf response.
So is it tone? Okay, this is good. So nobody wants to hear anything from EA. Is that the consensus in the gamer community? Like, don't say anything, don't joke about anything until you make quality products.
Make
I think
quality product. Make quality products without shit microtransactions. Like how many times has EA been in the news recently for like all this crap? Like, and again, this is from the company we've heard from multiple games. We've learned our lesson. We'll do better. We've heard that for two Battlefields, and that was coming off of the stock market news that was Battlefront 2. So it's like, you want to name a company that will actively never learn to just keep doing the same things? It's EA. So for all the companies that tweet this, EA was not the best one to fucking tweet this.
I think
They try to be Wendy's out.
I think if a developer tweeted this of a specific like that, I think if a developer tweeted this, I feel like it wouldn't get as much backlash, especially if it was a developer that like a part of like a really good single player game or single player series. It would probably be seen more of a joke where it's like, haha, like obviously you're joking because that's all you make. But I think the fact that a community manager of a conglomerate company
That's being sued
says that, then it can be contextualized in a different manner. So, but yeah, I see.
They're at 10, but they're getting sued by 4 countries. I get like for me, tone deaf isn't like I mean like again, like this is horribly a tone deaf response. Again, if Battlefield 2042 was good,
Yeah.
maybe this wouldn't have been such of a joke or like, what the fuck are you talking about? But like to come off their own failure of like one of the most successful and known multiplayer franchises, and for them to fuck it up 2 games running now,
Yeah.
they can't to me they can't even defend their own tweet. It's like, oh, you're right, multiplayer games are bad. Let me go play Battlefield 2042.
Yeah. So I think the last thing on the show here today, just to dig deeper into this Band-Aid ripping off.